Yeah, I want to jump on the bandwagon of saying that I regret my vote for Trump. My whole family does. My husband and I own a farm in Ohio that was funded through the Inflation Reduction Act, which Biden signed into law. And now the executive orders from Trump are rolling back all of that funding for us. So now we can no longer afford our farm. And when all that happened, it was like a lightning bolt hit my brain. And I realized that I shouldn't just be voting for myself, that Trump's policies and EOs are hurting millions of people. But it took it affecting me personally to understand what I had done was wrong. And I think it's really important for anyone to come out who voted for him and is now negatively impacted by the executive orders, or maybe you have friends or family, especially in minority communities, who are being very heavily impacted by what's going on right now. So yeah, I think it's time for us to stop being so selfish maybe and to vote for what's best for the country instead of just in our tiny little bubble, because we're all in the same boat now and we're all equally screwed by our new president.
You know, I'm seeing all these videos right now where all these farmers are crying about not getting no help right now. You know what? Let me ask you something. When have you ever heard of a black farmer crying about it? Never. And you want to know why? Because they ain't never got no help in the first place. That's right. USDA's literally admitted to discriminating against black farmers. And literally black farmers had to sue, thousands of them, to get what white farmers are handed for free. And fast forward to today, all these farmers crying that they can't get no help. You see, black farmers, they've been struggling. Y'all just now feeling what they've been feeling for over 100 years. Black farmers, they used to own over 19 million acres of land. But guess what? Systematic racism, denied loans, shady politicians, and legal loopholes wiped them all out. Yeah. And now they're 1% of America's farmland. When the government finally tried to pass relief for the black folk back in 2021, white farmers sued to block it, claimed it was reverse discrimination. Make that make sense. So, you know, next time you see folks complaining about farm aid, why don't you ask them, where's the help for the black farmers? Ask them why their struggle is just now important when others have been suffering for centuries.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel once again. Now, many Nebraska farmers are going bankrupt after voting for Trump because the very policy and economic conditions they supported or hoped will help them have, in some case, made their financial situation worse. I want us to watch some of the compilation of videos from MAGA people coming out and really crying, regretting to why they voted for Donald Trump and how they are going bankrupt. So kindly guys, watch these videos till the end. All credit goes to the original creator of the video. This video, it is only for educational purposes.
Maybe y'all saw the news out of Nebraska today. Apparently our entire state is going to go bankrupt in 2 quarters. Me and my husband owned a cattle ranch here, and I can confirm that all of the cattle ranchers here overwhelmingly voted for Trump. We support him. We voted for him. Something like 70% of our entire workforce is undocumented immigrants, and they straight up are not showing up for work anymore. They have all either fled the country, fled the state. They don't want to get raided while at work, so they have just moved on to work somewhere else. And straight up, we are gonna go bankrupt now. We are gonna go bankrupt. And yeah, we voted. We knew that the immigrants would get deported and he was coming after immigrants, yet we still voted for it. Overwhelmingly voted for our own demise. I was talking to my husband last night, and I have to admit that it seems a bit foolish now when you think about it like that we voted for something that is now putting us directly out of business.
So I'm a black farmer, and a lot of people are wondering, why are black farmers not panicking like a lot of white farmers? Well, let me explain to you the reasons why. It's because white farmers have been handed everything to them. A lot of them. Not saying all of them, but a good bit of them. And by that I mean this. MLK even pointed out. He says, farmers in the West and the Midwest who were white, they were given land, they were given money, they were given training, they were given a lot. Whereas the black farmers weren't given anything, and the largest civil rights settlement in U.S. history is Pickford v. Glickman, where you had a class action lawsuit, bunch of black farmers all joined the lawsuit, and they won a huge settlement because the USDA was shown to be racist for decades. So because black farmers haven't been given anything, we've been learning to do without, unlike your white farmers. So when things are taken away from you, all your subsidies, all your tax breaks, guess what? You panic. Whereas we've always been going through this shit. So there's problems in privilege.
So now that I have fallen down this rabbit hole, I just jumped onto Twitter's. And I got an alt Twitter where I pretend to be a MAGA guy. And I saw a live. And I am not kidding you. This dude, all these dudes these farmer dudes in there, these farm owner dudes, they're saying, well, we thought the blacks would come back and do the jobs because they don't have jobs. Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but black people have jobs, and you thought you were getting your slaves back is basically what you were saying. That's what you thought. It's still going right now, and I'm not going to post a link to it because I don't want to give these people a voice. But they think they're in a safe space on Twitter. They're not.
I voted for Donald J. Trump in the 2024 presidential election, and I am starting to regret my vote. When I voted for Donald Trump, I was under the impression that we would be getting rid of the undesirable illegal aliens. Now I have no one to work on my farm. What am I supposed to do? Pay them a living wage? This isn't handout city. I'm not giving these people no handouts. And how am I even supposed to do that anyway? I thought the plan was to tax the poors. Okay? I thought we were going to tax the poors. I make $25,000 a year. I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them poors. But why did my taxes raise? I thought us good folks were supposed to be getting tax cuts. That was what I thought. Plus, I'm white. Why did my taxes raise, and why do I have no one to work my farm? I do not understand this, and I know that this was not what Donald Trump meant to happen. I know that he doesn't want us good Trump supporter folks suffering, but we are. Donald Trump, please reverse this. I'm a white person. I am not supposed to be suffering. It was supposed to be the
Didn't I tell y'all that's what they thought? They thought black people were going to go get them jobs in the field. Since the migrants are gone, we ain't got no jobs, so we going to go back in the field and pick. That's what they thought. Oops. We worked for free in this country for 290 years. We ain't picking nothing for y'all. Y'all better get y'all white folks out there and go pick them fruits and them vegetables and take care of them cattle and the chickens. We not going out there. But I made a video. I can't find the shit, damn it. But I made a video when this all started, and I said they think black people are going to go back and work in the fields. That's why Donald Trump said they are taking black jobs. They think that's what we're supposed to go do. And they're finding out real quick, black people ain't coming. Y'all can hold your breath on that one. We ain't picking shit for y'all. We will grow our own vegetables and take care of our own selves. We not going to them fields. Y'all better figure out what y'all want to do about this immigration policy and these mass deportations, or white folks get your out there and go pick your own goddamn food. But we ain't coming.
Them farmers really thought we was going back to them fields. They really thought we was going back to them fields. You know what? My mother was the first generation on her mother's side not to be brought up on a plantation. Not to be brought up on a plantation. That's what I said. My grandfather had a third-grade education, but he left my mama 2 houses, property in the bank, property and money in the bank, with a third-grade education. And guess what? He worked in fields. My great-grandmother worked them fields and cut that cane just like a man. You hear me? And if you think that Eddie Lewis and Victoria C. Jones and all the rest of my ancestors bust their tail in them fields for us to go back to the fields, absolutely not. That's not progress. We're trying to heal from ancestral trauma. We're trying to heal from that. That ain't happening. That produce could rot in them fields before we go back to them fields. They need to let them know that.
Oh no, this is so sad. There are a bunch of white Texas farmers who are losing their farms right now. Because guess what? 100% of their workforce vanished. Wow. So all those people, who got eyes called on them, they were working on the farms. So now that they're gone, they cannot sustain the farms. You know what's crazy about this video? Because I talked about this like 2 months ago when Trump brought over all these South Afrikaners, farm people, where we find out that they were not really even farmers. And I was talking about this and found out that a few of our dear white farmers here had started losing their farms because of promises that were made to them and was not kept by this administration. So now it's trickling down to some other farmers because now their workforce, they're gone. And I was seeing somewhere where somebody came over, and it was a Caucasian man. He came over from Twitter, and he was like, y'all, a lot of these farmers, white farmers, they thought that black people were going to come and work for their farms. There's a lot going on in this country right now. Us heading into possibly World War II. But this is a conversation just to kind of talk about right now, that people are kind of seeing I guess, what's the word? I can't even find the word, but the decisions that they made, they are coming back to hunt them. Let's just say that. So sorry to hear this, but yeah. So I do hope that some of these Native Americans that did lose their lands, that they do get back some of these farms that are being lost.
So y'all remember when it was said that we taking all the black jobs? They really thought that we was going to be looking for black jobs, y'all. And I woke up this morning, I was scrolling through TikTok, and I saw this guy made a video, and I saved it to my favorite, so you can go look for it. And he said he was pretending to be MAGA on one of those other apps. He said they were doing a live, and the farmers were saying that they thought that the black people would be looking for jobs to work on their farms. Now, you got to be kidding me. Do they think we really looking for farm work? Do they not know that we are educated and we got degrees? And being a farm worker ain't even in the jobs categories that we be looking for. They really don't know how educated some of us are. They don't know how many degrees a lot of us have. They got to be really lost if they think that we want to come and work on their farms. They don't know that our parents and our grandparents growing up wouldn't even let us be outside if it wasn't no shade outside. Do they really think that we gonna work on a farm where ain't no shade trees at? I hate to disappoint y'all, baby, but you're going to have to get somebody else to do it, because we ain't working on nobody's farm. Never. The only way you're going to see black people working on a farm is if they own the farm, because we not working on nobody's farm as no workers. So I hate to disappoint y'all. If y'all thought those was black jobs that black people looking for, honey, you better think again, because black folks that I know got good jobs. We've had a black president. We had a black vice president. We got black senators. We got black congressmen. We got black CEOs. We got black doctors. We got black nurses. We got black psychiatrists. We got a lot of good black jobs. Now, I don't know what y'all thought we was going to be farm workers for. We don't even want to work in the fast food industry. Those jobs, we don't want those kind of jobs. So, I hate to disappoint you MAGA people, but we don't do farm work. So get somebody else to do it. I would like, share, comment, and repost. Drop in the comments y'all education and y'all good black jobs, because they don't think we got good black jobs out here. So we need to let them see it.
That there are 4 things that everybody who's not a Trump supporter thinks about you, and so far you've done nothing to disprove these things. 1, you're uneducated. And I don't mean uneducated in the sense that you didn't go to school and learn to read or do basic arithmetic. I mean you're uneducated as far as what's going on in the world. You got goggles on, only paying attention to what you want to pay attention to. Dose, you lack empathy. You don't care what happens to somebody else as long as it doesn't happen to you. Imagine for a moment the government started saying, hey, your marriage is illegal. How would you feel about that? How would you feel about that? But you don't care that it's happening to gay people as long as it doesn't happen to you. 3, you lack independent thinking skills, meaning you are incapable of forming your own thoughts, opinions, or viewpoints on things. You need pundit talking points from Fox News or whatever, that other OAN. You need those people to tell you what to believe. You don't have the ability to look into those claims and maybe think something else. It's a confirmation bias. You live in this bubble and you refuse to step outside of it. 4, and I think this is the most important one. I think this is the one you really need to work on if you have the ability, and that is critical thinking. Critical thinking is the ability to look at a situation and say to yourself, you know what, that's fucked up. That's not right, and you can't do that. So I look forward to all the laughing emoji reactions to this video, because the people that I just made these claims about don't have the ability to defend themselves. So they do so just with the laughing emoji. So fire away.
It's really interesting how every time I post about the work that Texans are doing and how Texans are fighting against this regime, I always get comments like this. They're, oh, Texans deserve what's happening to them. You voted for this. And by interesting, I actually mean it's stupid. You've got this guy here that's, I bet nobody in there listened to VP Kamala Harris. Not only did I listen to VP Kamala Harris, I was an invited guest in the VP's house multiple times and introduced her before one of her speeches. I promise you that you did not outwork me this election cycle behind your keyboard. I promise you that. And you all want to claim people like Jasmine Crockett. Where do you think Jasmine learned how to fight? Here in Texas, in the Texas House. Because we've been fighting these battles by ourselves for a long ass time while you've been sitting in your blue ivory towers looking down on us saying it's never going to happen to me, and now here we are. And when you leave comments like this of, oh, Texans deserve it, this is what they voted for, what you're actually doing is perpetuating the rights talking point for them, that our rights should be dependent on zip code. That's how they overturned Roe. So congratulations that you would rather point the finger than work on progress with us, because until you're ready to go and do the fight in the hard places, we're not turning this car around.
I hope you have watched that video and you have seen how majority of MAGA people, they are really crying simply because majority of them, they are going bankrupt, and also the people who are depending to come to work in their farms right now, they are no longer coming to help them work in their farms. And this it is all because they are the ones who brought all this problem, because they went ahead and vote against their own interest, simply because they knew that the Donald Trump policy will only affect the black people and the immigrant people and these other races, the Latinos, the Mexican, the Asian people. They knew that Donald Trump policy will only affect these other people, but not the MAGA people.
So I just saw this video of this white man who's not MAGA, by the way, or at least he says he's not, but because he damn sure selling the look. But he says he has a fake account over on Twitter, and he joined this group of white farmers, and he's pretending to be MAGA just to see what they're talking about. So apparently they had this group chat or group call where the white MAGA farmers were upset, in saying the only reason why they voted for shitty britches was because they thought the blacks didn't have jobs and the blacks would come back and work their fields. They thought they were going to get slavery back by voting for shitty britches. But they have been saying loud and proud with their chest that immigrants were taking their jobs. Yet, there are a couple of farms here in Texas that overnight lost 100% of their workforce. But immigrants was taking their jobs, right? Racism is expensive, huh?
What do you mean you didn't know? I am being so sincere right now because I truly want to understand how it is possible that in this day and age where we have access to any piece of information that we want in our hands, and we have 40 years of history that we can look back on for this individual, where a scenario exists that you legitimately wouldn't know. There have been dozens of women who have made allegations of SA that span 4 decades. There's video, pictures, audio, testimonies, flight logs. He has been held accountable in court for one of those essays. Where's the confusion? This is also an individual that has a history of conning people, not paying people. He's been in court hundreds of times over the last 4 decades. And I think he's lost about 92% of these lawsuits because he, in fact, does scam and cheat people. He has been found guilty of fraud in a court of law on 30 however many counts. Where's the confusion? Why are you not connecting that all of those things that span 40 years are the same exact person that is now in the White House right now? Where's the disconnect? And beyond that, where was the confusion about his policies? He told you what he was going to do. There's a 900-page manifesto. I know he said that, no, I don't know anything about that. But before the election, I asked, what is the difference between the policies that he's presenting and he's owning up to and the policies in Project 2025? I never got an answer because they were in fact the same. What he was saying out loud as the policies that he wanted to implement was what was in Project 2025. Yet we were told, no, that's not the case. How did you not know? I want to understand.
Last night, I watched video after video of farmers who might lose their farms because the government is reneging on contracts they wrote with these farmers. Hi guys, my name's Will, your favorite rural campaign and elections expert, and let's talk about it. Now the problem is President Trump's order to freeze most federal grants and loans has created a panic and uncertainty within the agricultural sector, which relies on billions of dollars in direct government assistance for loans, disaster relief, and conservation practices, many of which have been around since the days of FDR, and farmers have begun to rely on them. Now, if you've watched the news at all, you know that a federal judge blocked the order on Tuesday. The problem is, and what the media isn't telling you, is that farmers and ranchers over the last week to 10 days have begun to receive letters telling them that the government may not be able to live up to the promises they made in these signed contracts with farmers and ranchers to improve conservation and increase productivity on the farm. Sadly, I watched one cattle farmer video last night in the state of Missouri where he said that he's going to fall $80,000 short in funding because the government promised him that if he and his family invested in good conservation practices, they would support his efforts with grants and loans. He received a letter in the past 10 days telling him that they couldn't keep their promise even though they have a signed contract. And as a direct result, he's going to fall $80,000 short on his spring loan payment. And the only option he has right now is to sell his cattle. And he needs those cattle because those cattle are going to have calves, and he needs those calves to pay his fall payment.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is something going on here in America, and even some MAGA Republicans are fed up. So Representative Diana Harshbarger was in East Tennessee yesterday holding a town hall, and she called Donald Trump's victory a mandate, and the crowd shot that down right away, started booing her. Many of these people, Republicans, ladies and gentlemen, Republicans. It's very important to note. Then you have Representative Keith Self. He held a town hall in Wiley, Texas, and there were chants of vote him out, and he left the stage. Again, many of his constituents, many of these people, Republicans. And I also found it extremely interesting. Roger Marshall, who's a complete douchebag and a MAGA moron, also held a town hall. And he's a senator in Kansas, and he holds this town hall in Kansas. One of his constituents, a veteran, stands up and says he's worried about veterans losing their jobs. Literally 20 seconds later, he gets up and leaves, and he doesn't even answer the question, and then he's booed. Democrat Congressman Tom Suozzi received a huge standing ovation in a Trump +5 congressional district at Hofstra University after talking about how despicable Donald Trump was, his behavior in the Oval Office with Vladimir Zelensky. Ladies and gentlemen, there's something going on in America. All this stuff happened just over the weekend. People are getting fed up. There is buyer's remorse. We know we have that on the left, but we're getting that more on the right now as people are losing their jobs, people are losing their livelihoods, and they're getting no explanation from the Trump administration, and they're certainly not getting any explanation from the people who are supposed to be working for them that are Republicans, who many of these people voted for. They're getting booed out of these events, and I think it's saying something as to where we are at right now as America. People are...
So as a Nebraskan, the farmers predominantly voted for the current president. They also voted for Pete Ricketts and Deb Fischer, who aren't doing anything for them. And China announced that they're not going to buy corn and soybeans today, or I think they've done it over the last couple days. I think it was last week, because of the trade war their current president that they voted for decided to wage, a trade war with China. They're not going to buy your goods. And I know that a lot of you have said that you want aid. Well, as a taxpayer who lives in Nebraska who did vote for the right candidate, I don't think I want my tax dollars going to bail you out. I think you actually should sit in your decisions and feel the effects. You want us to. Every time we vote for a Democrat and you say they're horrible. So at this point in time, I'm going to tell you the same thing you say to me back. You wanted to vote for this. Now you get to deal with the consequences. And I don't think I should have to bail you out, because I work hard for my money too. And my dollars shouldn't bail out your bad decisions. So yeah, today I'm telling you, the farmers here in Nebraska, you need to deal with your own decisions. It's your consequences, not mine, and I don't want to pay for them.
I've had enough. Yeah, I've had enough of this horse shit. I don't give a shit what kind of law you make. I ain't going to follow it. I ain't paying my taxes this year. I just don't even care. I'm not going to be ruled by tyrants. I'm done. No taxes. I'm not following your goddamn laws that you make that are arbitrary and unconstitutional. I just ain't doing it. I've had enough of your bullshit. Washington State, Oregon, California, kiss my ass. I ain't following no more laws. No more new laws that don't make no sense. Your little snitch line and all your bullshit you got going on, I'm not doing it. I'm not funding your scams and your NGOs and your bullshit, your wars, your thieving. Yeah, thieving. You loudmouth politicians that don't give a about the common person. I'm done. I've had enough. I am no longer going to participate in your horse shit. And I don't give a what you try to take from me. I come into this world with nothing. I'll go out with nothing. I don't give a fuck. You and off. And on top of that, you best leave me the alone, because you won't like the results if you come out here and try to stomp on my neck. It won't end well. I'm old, and I'm mean as fuck. Leave me alone.
Guys, I hope you have watched and see that video from majority of MAGA people. Majority of them, especially Nebraska farmers, also they're coming out crying because majority of them, they are really going bankrupt, and also majority of them, they are really being affected. But one of the things that these people they did, the biggest mistake that these people they did, it is to vote against their own interests. So majority of MAGA farmers, they went ahead and vote because they knew that Donald Trump policy it will only affect the black people and also the immigrant people, but Donald Trump policy will not affect them. So they went ahead and so in large numbers they decided to bring back Donald Trump in office. But right now they are feeling the pain. So they thought that the policy will only affect the black people and the immigrant, but also they are really being affected. And also majority of them, they are starting to regret why they voted for Donald Trump. We have seen how their crops, they are being rotten. Their crops, it is rotten in their farms. We have seen how Donald Trump with the trading tariff, which was highly affected the farmers because their prices was dropped, and these people they cannot, they don't have conducive environment to do their business. And also, guys, we have seen how the workers, they have refused to come and help them. We have seen workers, they have not refused, but the workers, they are not showing up in their farms each and every night. Overnight we are seeing the workers, they are being disappeared. They are not coming to help the Nebraska and the MAGA farmers in their farms. So because of that also, they are really affected. You know, first of all, these people, they went ahead and vote for Donald Trump, knowing that Donald Trump is going to deport immigrant people back to their country, especially those illegal immigrants. And also Donald Trump, he promised them that he told them that these immigrant people, they are the ones who are taking their jobs. They are the ones who are dragging their country behind. So these people, they went ahead and voted for Donald Trump so that these immigrant people can be affected and they can go back to their country. So they did that knowing that the people who will come and help them in their farms, they are black people. But we have seen black people, they have refused to come and help them in their farms. Black people, they are now teaching them their lesson, because I've not yet seen black farmers coming out and cry. Why is it the only white farmers, they are coming out and cry? Simply because these people, they went ahead, and these people, they knew that the people who are highly helping them in their farms, it is the immigrant people, because these people, they were taking advantage of the immigrants people, paying them low wages, putting them in their farms, helping them in their farms, and they will benefit from that. But these people, they went ahead and voted these people to be kicked out. So right now it has forced them to do that job, because black people, they have refused to do that. And also black people, they have not refused in a bad way, because if these people, they want to bring black people, they cannot pay them the wages that they were paying the immigrant people. No, the black Americans, they will need more wages, and reasonable wages. So because of that, these people, they are crying out, telling Donald Trump, you promise us that our life, it is going to be very easy, but right now things have changed, and they are even regretting. For me, this is like a lesson to them, because I remember black people, they warned them. Black people told them that we are seeing what it is coming. We are seeing Donald Trump, his policy, it will not only affect us also, but it will also affect you guys. But these guys, they didn't hear what black people, they were telling them. Instead, these MAGA people, they saw that black people, they want to vote their own so that they can have the black leader in power. So these people, they went ahead and decided that no, we are not going to vote for a black person, we are going to vote for their fellow white person, a yellow man. But right now you can see they are even regretting to vote for Donald Trump, because they are really crying. We have been seeing also, it is not only the MAGA people, they are being affected. Also, we have seen how the white people also, they are really crying, because majority of them, they are losing their jobs. Majority of them, they cannot even afford basic necessities. Majority of them also, they cannot even afford to pay their bills, like hospital bills, house mortgage. We have seen others they are now leaving their house, they are quitting. And also we have seen so many white Americans people, they are leaving their country because life there, it is really the high cost of living, it has really increased, and also inflation. And also right now they are finding it that America, it is very difficult to live. America now, the people who are in power, they have turned it to be easy for the billionaires. If you are a billionaire, I keep on telling you that you will stay in America very comfortable. But if you're not a millionaire or a billionaire, so you just know that America, it is not for you. America, it is right now for the billionaire, because the people who are in power, they don't care the life of the poor people or the middle class people. They only care about the life of the billionaire. That's why these all rules, this all policy that they are coming out with each and every day, we have seen the Senate, and we have seen the Republican also, they are coming out and setting some of the rules just to favor them. So what I can tell you that right now America, it is only for the rich people. If you are not rich, just know America, it is not for you. And right now American dream, it is slowly going down. I came out and tell you that Americans people, they will not recover from the hands of Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is ruining everything. He thinks that he's making America safe, he's making America for American people, but that way he doesn't realize that America, it is so many people, right now they don't want to go to America. So many people right now, they are seeing America as if like it is not that a good country, because we have been seeing also how the ICE, they are treating immigrant people, not only migrant people, also the American citizen. Also ICE, it is also trying to crack down those American citizens. ICE, how ICE it is operating, it is like these people, they are abducting people, these people, they are kidnapping people, detaining them and deporting them in their country. They don't care if they are having families in America. No, these people, they will just come out, deport you, and you go back to your country. Even if you are a married man, you have a family, you have a son, you have a daughter in America, they will come and deport you as a man. They are leaving your children with their mother in the United States. So this, because of that, also you have seen how the broken family, we have seen how the families have been broken in America. So kindly guys, if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe, like, share this video and comment. Also, you can share your thoughts on the comment section. What do you think about this Nebraska farmer crying? Are they deserving? Are they crying because they voted against their own interests, or do they deserve to cry? So kindly guys, this video was for educational purposes. Thank you so much. See you on my next one. Bye bye.